look at Reshit Chochmah, I didn't really want to go into Reshit Chochmah too much, but you should know that Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, in Perek Sheni of Reshit Chochmah, Masechet Gehinom, he met with Eliyahu Navi. Eliyahu Navi came to him and he says, "You want to see Gehinom?" He says, "Yes." He tells him all the different things that he saw. Different things that he saw, but I'm not going to go into it now. I want you guys to sleep this week. But he says, "Ve'areni b'nei adam shetluim be'eineim." And I saw some people that are hung from their eyes. Shem Erachem. Why? Go look at a woman that's not yours. Why are you looking? It's your wife? No, it's not. Why are you looking then? Why are you looking? Why are you looking at someone that's not your wife? You know, if you actually understood the din in Shamayim, when you look at a woman that's not your wife, you would never look at another woman again. Never. If you have to have a conversation with a woman for whatever reason or another, you want to help her, she's your customer or whatever, you look once to see who you're talking to, but look away after. Constantly. Once in a while you go back just to make sure that she knows you're talking to her and so on, but as much as you can, pretty much 99% of the time if you can, don't look directly at her. Why? As a man, it's almost impossible for you to have a clean mind. Unless you're davuk for Hashem, unless you're glued to Hashem. It doesn't matter if she could be 95 years old, she could be 15, she could, anything. Anything. Your Yetzirah does not have limitations. Does not have limitations. Maybe thinking about what Rabbi Yoshua saw in Gehinom, maybe it will help you a little bit. Break that rock. And it talks about, in Perek Shlishi, it says 3 go to Gehinom and do not come back. Abal Eshet Ish is the first one. Someone that goes with a married woman, Gehinom will end, but his Gehinom will not end. So we're not going to go over anything else here. So I think it's scary enough for tonight. But the point I'm trying to say is that here you have all of these disasters begin with a simple look. A simple look at the grass on the other side. You know, there's a famous saying, the grass is always greener on the other side. The real question should be, why are you looking? Why are you looking at the other grass? Why are you looking on the other side? What difference does it make to you if he makes a lot of money? What difference does it make to you what his wife looks like? What difference does it make to you how much money he has, what car he has, what house he has? What difference does it make to you? Do you realize that you're killing yourself? By looking somewhere else other than yourself, you're guaranteed to lose. Guaranteed to lose. On one end, the most likely end, you're going to find something that he has that you don't, because that's usually what the Yetzirah looks for. So his wife is ugly and yours is pretty, you're not going to care about that. His house is small and yours is big, you're not going to care about that. His bank account is small and yours is big, you're not going to care about that. What are you going to do? You're going to find out, oh, one of his kids, Talmid Chacham, and my kids are half retarded. Oh, can't be. Now you're jealous of the kids. Now you have Ain Hara on his kids. Gemara says 99% of people die from Ain Hara. 1% die from regular death. You looked at his kids, say, oh, they're so smart, they're so this. My kids are not. You're putting Ain Hara on his kids. Why are you looking? Why are you looking? And that's the thing, that a lot of people waste their lives. Mamash waste their lives looking at other people's lives. Whether it's on social media, on Facebook, or different things like that. And that's why I always tell people, if you're smart, don't ever put anything personal on Facebook. No pictures and no sayings. Really, you shouldn't be on it anyway. But whatever, if you're using it for good, to do KIRUV or something like that, fine. You're able to use it for good purposes, just like you can use a computer for good purposes in general, just like you can use a car for good purposes in general, just like you can use a house for good purposes or bad ones and so on. But the point being is that to use any of these vehicles that Hashem gave you just to publicize things about your life is the stupidest things in the world you can do. First of all, you're leading other people to sin. If you're a pretty woman, even if you're an ugly woman, doesn't make a difference. You're showing yourself immodest, you're showing yourself in general. Someone's going to sin because of you. There's a very scary movie that came out recently mamash, in the last couple of weeks, of a woman that had a near-death experience maybe some 10 years ago, or a little less than 10 years ago. She had a near-death experience. She was a Balat Tshuva, that she did Tshuva, and she used to be a model when she was young. She was like 16 years old. She was a model, and then she discovered Hashem, and so on and so forth, did Tshuva, got married, had kids, and initially she covered her hair with a mitpachat, with a kerchief, with a tichel, and everything was fine. But then she moved to a new neighborhood, and she started seeing that this new neighborhood, also Haredim, also religious, but more people wearing wigs. So she decided, wait, this is allowed to wear these wigs? She decided, okay, I'll wear a wig. So she started wearing a wig, and she tells the story herself. She starts wearing a wig, and the wigs become more and more stylish. And she says, oh, the clothes become more and more stylish, a little tighter, a little this, a little shorter. She said herself, I started cutting my skirts a little bit, just an extra 2 inches. Why? I wanted to fit in. They were wearing it right to the knee. I'm wearing it right to my knee. They're wearing tight clothes. They're doing Charedim their whole life. I'm just a Baal Tshuva. What do I know? Shem Elachem, especially since the rabbi told her it's okay. Her husband told her it's not okay. But she said no, but they both spoke to a rabbi. It was supposedly a big rabbi. And he said, no, it's okay. It's allowed. It's fine. Go ahead. Do it. Go ahead. Do it. Do it. It's fine. No problem. Yeah, we have some rabbi sometime, a million years ago, said it's okay to put a straw in your head, but we're translating it to be hair better than what you have. Fine. Go. Okay. She did it. Little by little, life is good, she says. One day they decide to take a trip, like on a regular day, family trip. They get into a car accident. Her husband dies on the spot. One of her kids is in critical condition. One of them is saved miraculously, and she's in critical condition. And she goes into a coma. And the coma continues, but over here continues. In Shamayim, something else going on, she says. In Shamayim, she goes to the Bedin of Shamayim. She starts seeing things. And she starts seeing all these millions and millions of neshamot. Millions of neshamot yelling at her. You did this to us. We hate you. You did this to us. We sinned because of you. You. Reshai, da. She's like, I don't know why they're yelling at me. She's crying. She's like, I don't know why they're yelling at me. It's so embarrassing. Millions of people are yelling at me. I don't know what I did. And then they show me a movie of my life, and they show me modeling and me today. And it looks the same. Me modeling as a 16-year-old, and me with the wig and the tight clothes, and it looks the same. And Shamayim didn't like it too much. They said everything that happened started with your wig. Everything that happened is your fault. And she says, I took it, and I cried to Hashem, and I wanted another chance. And when I realized that I actually died, I wanted another chance, and Baruch Hashem, she got another chance, and she says, I accept everything that I got with love, because I know what actually happens out there, and Hashem did a chesed for me, for giving me another chance. The story is much more extraordinary than I tell you. She went to Rav Ovadia, alav shalom, before he died. This is again, like I said, like about a 10-year-old story or so, maybe even longer. And Rav Ovadia says, you must publicize this to everyone. Now, I personally never heard it until the movie came out recently. And I'm telling you, if you don't cry hearing this story, you should double check your pulse. You're probably not alive. Yeah.